Kitchen gadgets can be super fun and quirky, and some are just plain daft, but today I'm going to recommend some of my favourite kitchen gadgets I just can't live without, and we're going to start with this microplane grater. You can use it for grating all sorts of things. It works really well for hard cheese, it just takes a few passes up and down, and we've got a whole heap of lovely fluffy parmesan. It's brilliant for things like nutmeg, but you do need to be careful with your fingers. It works really well for ginger with the peel still on, and you can just scrape any off the back. And it's also a really good zester for lemons and limes. You can also use it for grating chocolate, maybe over a dessert or into a drink. And because the cutting blades all face one direction, it's easy to wash. You just wipe it over with a soapy sponge under some water, then give it a dry and refit the protective cover. And it's really easy to store. Now here's another one of my favourite gadgets, this 7-in-1 mandolin food cutter. It comes with quite an array of attachments. There's this plastic catch tray which feels solid and well built. It's got these rubber grips on the base to make it non-slip when it's on a surface, and we sit on top one of two things. First, there's this pusher attachment. It's hinged at the back and opens up, and there's this kind of spiky plate at the top which is used for pushing through the produce. Then just select one of the cutting tools. They are very sharp, so do be careful, and they just clip into the base here and lock in with this slider. To use it, you just place on your produce and give the top a good sharp push. And hey presto, instant chips or fries. They're all nice and uniform, and you can just put them on an oven tray and cook them with some oil. If you want to make cubes, you can just chop the potato in half and push them through like this. It's really nice and quick, and you can just change the insert by unclipping the old one and place in a different one. It also comes with this fine dicer. If I test it out with this onion, it shreds it into little bits instantly. That's perfect for cooking. I pushed through a couple of mushrooms, and some courgette, and pieces of carrot, and I'll be using this for a stir fry. Here's another one of the attachments, a ribbon blade spiralizer. You can use it for things like cucumber, and if you're worried about your hands getting close to the blade, they also supply a cut-proof glove. It's made from a strong polyethylene fibre, and it looks and feels pretty much like a normal glove, but it's actually very good at withstanding cuts and abrasions. So if you're worried about your hands getting close to the blades, you can use the glove, and they also supply you with this spiky grip. And check it out, it's cut the whole thing into this long, impressive ribbon. Perfect for a display. There's other attachments to cut long, thin strands, and if we place on the mandolin base, there's different inserts for that one too. Like this ordinary grater, which we can use with this clever finger guard, this julienne insert, which gives lovely matchstick-like cuttings, or this straight slicer, which I'm using with this apple. It's quick and simple and gives these beautiful even slices. For cleaning, they give you this little brush to help get into the tight spots, and a little tool for combing out food from the pusher. And it also comes with a little blade housing caddy to store all the attachments together. If you want to buy any of the gadgets you see in this video, there's a link in the description. And if you're enjoying this video and want to support me, please do consider subscribing. It really does help. I used it to chop up a load of potato, carrot and leek, which I used to make a nice soup. First I fried them off a little, then added some hot water. Now here's another one of my favourite kitchen tools, the immersion blender. It's got a nice moulded, comfortable hand grip at the top with this little push button on the other side, and it's really good for making sauces or drinks. And if we take a quick look at the blade on the bottom, you can see it's a little bit like a propeller, and that's because it draws the food into the blade, then pushes it out from the back to keep it circulating. I'm going to use it to blend up the soup I just made. Just place it into the pan, and it makes really light work of it. And if we take a closer look, you can see how it draws it down into the blade. And once you're done, you can just disconnect the bottom part to make it easy to wash. But I also really like this electric milk frother. Now this one comes with two different attachments, the frother and a small whisk, and it's a rechargeable unit from a USB socket. It's got 3 different speed settings, and it does actually spin very fast. So if you want a bit of frothy milk for a nice cup of coffee, just pour some into a glass, froth it up, and add it to your drink. You can also use it to help you make a really nice chocolate milk drink. It mixes it all in and froths it up slightly. Then just add a little bit more milk to bring it to the top. But if you remove the frother and replace it with a whisk, you can use it for things like beating up an egg. It's also good for just whisking egg whites or making a dressing. And I really like the fact it's battery operated, but USB rechargeable. Next on the list is this garlic press. Open it up and remove the packaging, and we've got the press, a little brush for cleaning, and this silicone tube. Now this in itself is a handy little gadget. To use it, we just slide inside a clove of garlic, then roll it back and forward with your hand. After just a couple of seconds, you can tip it out, and your clove should be nicely peeled. That really is super easy. It saves trying to peel it with your fingers and getting it all under your nails. And I really like this garlic press. It feels nice and substantial, and there's nothing complicated about it. Just sit it on top of the garlic and mash it through. If you like cooking with garlic, I find this gadget really helpful, and it's dead simple to clean. Now here's another one of my favourite gadgets, this AnySharp World's Best Knife Sharpener. It feels really well built, and there's this lever on the top which activates the sucker pad base. The idea is we put it down onto the work surface and suction it down to hold it firmly in place while we use it. And I'm going to sharpen this knife, but first of all I'm going to try a paper test so I can show you just how blunt it is. Rather than cutting the paper, it just tears it. It hasn't been sharpened for years. So I'll show you how the sharpener works. You just sit the blade in the cutting groove and draw it backwards like this. Do it 3 or 4 times. And that's it. It should be nice and sharp now. You can actually see some steel filings here where it's ground down the blade while sharpening it. And if I try the paper cutting test now, you can see it's done really well. It's cutting the paper now instead of just tearing it. And if I chop up this onion, I can tell it's so much sharper than before. I like it because it's so small and easy to store, and it's so quick to use. Now, I also really like this citrus squeeze and mist gadget. It's suitable for lemon or lime juice, and it's a combined juicer and spray bottle. First, let's take a look at the spray bottle. It's got this pump squirter on the top with a removable cover, and to open it, the top part just clips off. There's this small filter on the bottom of the pipe to stop it getting clogged, and it all dismantles to make it easier for cleaning. Now, here's the juicer. It clips on top of the filter tray. Then the whole thing clips over the bottle. So you can probably see how it works. You just take your lemon or lime, then go ahead and juice it. Although this gadget is on the smaller side, it does feel quite solid. And look, you can see it's extracting plenty of juice. And once we unclip it, you can see I've got about 30 milliliters. That's about 6 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons. And once you're done, you can go ahead and clip on the sprayer. It's a nice small portable size, and I'm giving it a couple of pumps to prime it, and there we go, look, you get a beautiful mist of lemon juice. Oh, that smells amazing. You can use it for things like spraying on your salad, a bit like a dressing. It's perfect if you like some lemon juice on a bit of fish. Maybe you like sugar and lemon juice as a topping on a pancake, or you can even use it for cleaning. This stainless steel tap is covered in water stains. I do get heavy lime scale here, so I'm giving it a couple of squirts of lemon juice, then leaving it to sit for 5 minutes, then wipe it off, and check that out, it's cleaned it all off. It's like new again. And once you finish with your lemon sprayer, you can just place on the pump cover and store it in the fridge. Now here's another one of my favourite kitchen appliances, digital scales. These have got a really nice clear display. Of course, you can place a bowl or something on top, then zero the weight again before you start filling it. You can change the units from ounces, pounds and ounces, grams, millilitres, and fluid ounces. And it's also got a hold button, so you can remove whatever it is you're weighing, but it keeps the reading for a while so you don't forget it while you're cooking. I think these scales are a really nice design, but sometimes of course they get a bit messy. But some of the key features I like about these scales are they're actually IPX6 waterproof, which means you can get them wet for cleaning. Although the instruction manual does recommend you just wipe them off with a damp cloth. And the other thing I really like is it's actually rechargeable. Behind this rubber plug is a USB-C connector, so it's a nice robust, up-to-date port. These traditional weighing scales do look really nice, but the reality is, when it comes to storing them, digital scales make life so much easier. Next I want to show you this. It's a silicone utensil rest. Remove it from the packaging and we've got this really cool design, brightly coloured, flexible holder. And the idea is it stays on your work surface next to where you cook, and whenever you're stirring something and need somewhere to rest your utensil, you just sit it down on here. It's got this tray behind to catch anything that might fall off, and there's room for 4 large utensils. Because it's silicone and flexible, it's super easy to clean. Even if the food's been left to dry on a little. You can get it in a whole variety of different colours, and it's definitely one of my favourite gadgets. And while we're looking at silicone utensils, I think this has got to be one of my other favourites. The flexible silicone spatula. Again, it's super easy to clean and wash, but it's really versatile. Use it for stirring or beating, but it really excels when it comes to cleaning out bowls or pans. Because it's flexible, it just bends to the curvature of this bowl, and it makes cleaning it out a dream. After all, no one wants to waste cake mixture. Now here's another really cool gadget. Quite simply, it's a digital timer, but I particularly like this one because it's quite a decent size and the display is really easy to see, even from quite far away. It's actually got 2 different brightnesses, which is useful, and really large, simple buttons on the top. Stop-start for the stopwatch, and clear, and hour, minutes and seconds if you're using it as a countdown timer. When it gets to 0, it starts beeping, and the clock starts to count back up so you know how much time has elapsed since the alarm went off. There's 2 different sound levels, loud or quiet, or you can have it so it just vibrates. And if we take a look at the back, we've got 3 options for fixing it. First of all, there's just a stand which pulls out, and we can sit it on the counter. If you prefer, there's this tab that folds up, which allows you to hang it on the wall. Or the third option is using these. They're 4 magnets, so if you like, you can stick it to something like your fridge. And the other thing I really like about this gadget is it's also rechargeable. This device also comes with a USB-C type connector. Just plug the lead in, and the other end into your USB charger to charge it up. It is really nice not having to worry about batteries. In this next video, I use this gadget to make a square egg, and I also tested out a load of other egg gadgets as well. If you'd like to see them and find out do square eggs have square yolks, you can click on the link here. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.